Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. You know, there are some games when you despair. You really do. Like, there's no logical reason for the things that happen to happen. This is one of those infamous tales featuring Axiom Shoutcraft US, aka me, versus my Terran opponent, AQ Me. Started off like any other. Here on Clontus Mire. Not a bad little map. That little bridge in the center is an interesting feature. Does mean that if you want to attack, you either got to take the long way around, or you got to take this bridge here, which is in itself fairly risky. So TBT, as you're probably well aware, is not exactly my matchup. I like to watch it. I like to cast it. I hate to play it. I feel constantly frustrated when I'm involved in this matchup. I think that's a feeling that's most often shared by pretty much anybody that likes to play Starcraft 2. They run into the same race as they are, and suddenly their brain turns to mush, and they do stupid things. Now, I opened up the same way that I usually do, that being the 12-12 Reaper build. This guy, on the other hand, going gas first, so that in itself would raise flags, assuming that I knew about it. The problem with the Reaper Scout build, of course, rather than SCV Scout, is that you will never see that. The only way you'll really be able to figure it out is by clicking on it in the base, and let's be honest, ain't nobody got time for that. Most people don't do it unless they're pro players. So AQ Me has got himself a refinery and is now going to send 4 workers into it, you know, completely standard. Slight mistake there by him, but not really all that important. I've gone for the 12-12. My refinery is finished. I think I might have been slightly late on that. Probably ended up being on 13, which is a mistake because it does mean that your Reaper doesn't come out at the right time, but it looks like it's going to be about close enough. So the Reaper serves a great purpose. The idea of the Reaper is to go in and scout and find out what exactly is going on. The main problem, of course, is when you read too much into what the Reaper says. The Reaper can't necessarily be trusted. Bear in mind, this guy's a bloody convict. A drug-addled convict at that. So shenanigans are going to be in play here. Where is that SCV going, for one thing? Why isn't it going back home? It's not going back home. Why is it not going back home? Great question. What is it gonna build? Tell me, AQ Me's SCV, what are you gonna build? What's your plan? What do you got the blueprints for there in your little pocket? Oh, that will be a factory in the middle of the map. Why? Well, who the hell would check here? Especially not on Clontus Mire. There is no reason at all to check that area. Even if you went around the long way, you would go this way, not this way. This is probably one of the best places on the entire map to hide something close to your enemy base, because there's no way you're going to see it. Now, he actually goes for Reaper as well. He's going to go scout and harass. Now, this is what I see. I see a second gas going down. I see a barracks with a refinery being added on. You want to know why this is wonky? The reason this is wonky is because this could be my build. You see my build right here? It's got a second gas, which is a little bit weird, but he is still building it, so not really a big deal here. It's like, oh look, it's kind of the same. He's going reactor here. I don't know where his command center is yet. Maybe he's just late on it. Or maybe he built it on the low ground, and I didn't get a chance to scout it because I was driven out by the enemy Reaper and some SCVs, so I don't know. I assume at this point, he's gone for the same kind of build as me, and he's gone for a CC on the lower ground. Even with the Reaper, that's pretty much a tell, right? What's going on here? Why is there a tech lab on this factory? Of anything you could imagine, would you imagine a tech lab going down here? There's some weird Thor rushes that still kind of work-ish, but you'd expect maybe a reactor. So, some Hellions, which, you know, doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but you got to consider the map we're on. The map we're on has this thing, yeah? This thing right here. This bridge, it's extremely easy to keep an eye on that. Either that or they have to go all the way around, so it delays any push from actually hitting you. So generally speaking, even though there aren't any Xel'Naga watchtowers on this map, you can keep a pretty good eye on what's going on. So for me, I'm just rolling forward. I am preparing for an opening of a eventual Hellbat drop. As you see the starport's going down there. I'll add an armory on there eventually once the second gas is done. He's building a tank. A tank. Can someone explain this to me? Who builds proxy tanks? Who? Who exactly? Now, bear in mind, of course, I haven't been able to scout since because he's done a fantastic job of keeping me out of his base. And all credit to him. Like, he's kept this Reaper alive. He's an annoying little bastard. He slows down my construction on the starport here. I'm moving my Marines to get rid of it. His Reaper, in fact, drove my Reaper away so that it couldn't repeatedly scout this base. And if it had done that, it would have seen there's only one Rax and no expansion. Which makes no sense. But neither does Proxy Tank. There's already one tank on the map. He's got a second one coming in and a third one queued up. Who the hell proxies a tank? Who? How can you possibly expect anyone to successfully scout proxy freaking tank? I mean, of all the things to proxy, you proxy a damn tank. And the funny thing is, it works on this map, because you bypass this friggin' bridge, and you bypass this area here. You just put your factory down there, and it's a hop, skip, and a jump over to the natural. When suddenly you march in with 11 Marines and 2 siege tanks when your opponent has 4 Marines, a Widow Mine, and a Reaper. Who the hell proxies a tank? This should be a war crime. I hate TVT. I'll see you next time.